Wow. All right, guys, welcome in, man. I could not get the nothing to work here. We're hopefully not going to get took out by these storms. So all these segmented spraying that we've seen here in Missouri over the last couple of days, now we're going to pay for it. We're supposed to get 5 to 6 inches of rain in the next day. So you could bet that we'll be flooding out again. Hopefully we'll get through the show before the rain takes us out. Anyway, guys, here we go. We're going to jump right into this. We got tons of articles to get through before we can get into the weather. So right here, Florida beekeeper says someone killed as many as 7 million of his honeybees. This happened in central Florida. Someone is poisoning his honeybees. He found the dead bees over his property when he went to check the hive Sunday. He's offering $30,000 reward for information leading to the arrest. Now, the beekeeper said that he believes someone is poisoning his honeybees after finding dead bees all over his property. He is owned, let's see here. He has about 20,000 hives in Florida and about 1,000 are on DeLand property. He is taking the hives to Fort Pierce for safekeeping. He said he's got about 20,000 hives in the state and about 1,000 of them are at the Ridgewood property. He believes the death toll could be 7 million. This isn't the first time his bees have encountered trouble. In 2002, about 80,000 bees were stolen. So this is how they're treating, man. He's going to have to get like armed guards and people with some kind of some way to keep the planes away, because they're releasing some stuff. In fact, let's look at Florida real quick here. Let's just go see what kind of operations are going on. And of course, we have aerosols being deployed. Are these the bee keying aerosols? I don't know. We had the chemtrail plane over the volcano, the super volcano Yellowstone yesterday. This is the same plane that the NASA trails. Here, I'll play that clip for, well, we don't have a lot of new people in here. We'll save that clip for later in case we get a lot of new people that hasn't heard it. We get tired of hearing the same clips, but I have to play them all the time because it's a good way to get down to the facts. So yeah, we got mega spraying operations going on all over Florida. So, could this be what happened to his bees? Who knows, man? These alphabet agencies can't be trusted. We know the Food and Drug Administration is responsible for the chemtrails. We learned that over the Texas License Bureau Weather Modification Conference they just had back on the 19th. We learned about them cloud seeding all the storms over Texas. Even though some of the storms were thunderstorm warned, they were still cloud seeding. Hopefully I will get time tomorrow to get that whole video uploaded. It's going to be like at least an hour long of the Weather Modification Bureau. But yeah, there's so much information in that video. It's pretty mind-blowing. So anyway, this really sucks because here's more problems with the food supply. If this guy's losing 7 million bees, just think how much honey and stuff like that's not going to be out there for distribution. I mean, we got this is going on. I got other articles here about more stuff like this. It's just crazy the way they are hitting all the farmers, hitting the crops. Oh yeah, and I do have some chat rules down in the description. Make sure you guys check them out so you don't get blocked. And there's a reason why we put these chat rules in the chat. Now we're trying to get people awake. We're trying to reach people that may just be learning about the chemtrails, maybe looking for answers of what's going on in the skies. And, you know, I don't want off-topic crap in there just to confuse the people. So we just got to keep on target. And that's the way it's got to be, man. If you have no rules, it'll just be like mayhem. Somebody new coming in here trying to find out something, and everybody's blabbering about something that's not even the video's about. It's just a big turnoff, and then they're not going to get the truth. Anyway, we had a mysterious radiation cloud over Europe traced to a secret Russian nuclear incident. A vast cloud of nuclear radiation was spread over continental Europe in 2017 and has been traced to unacknowledged nuclear accident in southern Russia, according to the international team of scientists. The experts say the cloud of radiation detected over Europe in late September 2017 could only have been caused by a nuclear fuel reprocessing accident. A nuclear facility in the region of the Ural Mountains in Russia sometime between noon on September 26th and noon September 27th. So now we have more, you know, isotopes lingering in the sky. Like, we're never going to get away with this. Why do they keep building more and more of these nuclear reactors when they cannot control them? You know, with Fukushima, that they're going to have to pour water on forever. You know, Chernobyl, they just capped that thing off with some kind of weird building. And then we have this, Pennsylvania, the DOT to roll out gender-neutral driver's license option. The motorist will use an X as a third option to indicate gender. This is getting ridiculous. You know, if I said what I really thought about this stuff that they're pushing on us, they would instantly turn my channel off. So, I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. There's only two genders, a man and a woman. That's it. If you think you're something else, hey, you need to think a little harder. The government tested AIDS drugs on foster kids. This come out of NBC News. It's actually a really old article, but it just goes along with how they test on us. You know, they want to say conspiracies and say they can't, you know, when they talk about the chemtrails, saying, you know, it's about mind control and all that stuff just to try to detour you, when we know for a fact. Oh yeah, we'll take a look at that. We know for a fact that they've been testing on us forever. So government-funded researchers tested AIDS drugs on hundreds of foster children over the past 2 decades, often without providing them a basic protection afforded in federal law required by some of the states, Associated Press has found. Anyways, just more news that they've tested on humans. Former Pittsburgh Steelers files lawsuit against Monsanto. Probably a good thing he's a former player, because they'd probably break his kneecaps or something. Who knows? Anyway, I'm just going to try to whip through some of these articles. 600 people killed, over 25 million affected by flooding in India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Myanmar. So, like, these weather wars are going on worldwide. Then you got this space wars. Military satellites will be armed with lasers and guns by 2030. They already got them. We've seen them in the Paradise Fires. Here's a portions of measles outbreaks are due to vaccine reactions and not the wild measles. Then we got this 11 former guests of an Atlanta hotel now have Legionnaire's disease. They have identified 55 more possible cases. Now they're saying these are coming off the air conditioning units. So the probable cases are people who have symptoms of disease, including pneumonia. Let's see here. I actually looked into this when I was getting that chest cold before I realized it was the Sahara dust coming in. Yeah, 80,000 people died of the dingy fever and all that. But anyway, the condensers on the air conditioners can cause this stuff because it gets all the mold and bacteria on it. Well, what do you think the power plants, all the smoke coming out of the power plants, it's basically the same thing, but bigger. Then we have these, wow, what is this? Oh, yeah, I was going to look into this. Yeah, we'll look into this later. All right, screw that one. U.S. private military companies plunder Syrian oil facility. Screw that one too. I'm not going to get into the propaganda stuff. Now here's something that comes out, I think, every year. So they have this subterranean challenge, and this is held by DARPA. You know who DARPA is. So they're gonna see, they need to have all these exercises in the caves because they plan on going underground. They plan on they have hidden tunnels there. I work in a cave. I work in an underground cave that looks just like this. They're everywhere in Missouri. Missouri's got thousands of them. You know, it's the ones that we don't know about. The ones that I got some friends that are truckers that have told me about some secret caves where they have drove back in there, 20, 30 miles. So this is just more weird news to try to come up with a picture of what's really going on. And I'm not going to get into this article, man. These people, the Egyptians, are selling camels for sacrifices, man. It's pretty disgusting. Not going to get into that one. But the camel thumbnail worked for Hump Day News. All right, so we got flooding going on in Siberia. So you had the fires up in northern Russia. They're getting the same rain bombs. Like, all these governments are in this together. They're all rain bombing everywhere. India, the United States, the Midwest, Australia, parts of Australia. I mean, everybody is getting flooded. And it's always the same. They are completely out of control. And then we're the ones that has to pay for it. Then you also have these AI little, they call them, what do they call these things? Oh man, I watched this way earlier today. But they're little AI robotic gliders. That's what they're called, gliders. They go under the ocean. They're all over the ocean. They're all, let me see if I can scroll up to one of them. But they're saying that these things will help them track hurricanes. It's like, what else is on these drones? They're like underwater drones going all around the ocean. You wonder why we're getting fish kills, fish die-offs. You got the Navy and their sonar radar. You got all the frequency weapons. But these things got different payloads and they can do different things. So just another thing, like, you never know this is out there in the ocean, but there's thousands of them, and they've been going on since like 2005. Have they got better at predicting hurricanes? No. So what are they really doing with these things? We got more of the mosquitoes down in Florida. They're heads up, a dangerous, potentially mosquito-borne virus detected in the state of Florida. I think we went over this the other day. They're saying then they got another outbreak linked to fresh basil from Mexico. It must not be that fresh. Yeah, this is that inflammation of the brain crap. Now, mosquitoes, I think they can only fly like 50 feet or 50 yards. So it makes you wonder, man, how are these things getting diseases? That's because they're engineered to have the disease. They're bioweapons, just like they did with the ticks. And at the same time, the U.S. healthcare ranked the worst in the developed world. We just had a storm over in the UK, had 40,000 lightning strikes in one storm. I mean, look at that, man. That's like a weather war going on. And we're also getting ready we're probably getting hit as we speak with some solar wind coming in here on the 31st to August 1st. At the same time, we're getting the black super moon. So we can bet that earthquake activity is going to definitely go up. Down in Australia, we got lab-grown meat industry starts up. So there are more petri dish meat, more frankenfood, man. Don't eat this stuff. It will change your DNA. I mean, that's what they want. They want to change our DNA. It looks like the stream is really sucking. Let me go ahead and get these last few articles over into this browser, and then we'll get into some weather stuff. I seen somebody said out there's a hurricane or something forming. Now the dust will hit it. We'll look at that. So drought and poor food prices. South Australia farmers to close pig business. You know, you had all the pigs killed off. Hey, thanks there, Susan. You had all the pigs killed off over there in China, and now we got this going on in Australia. Pretty soon you will not be able to buy pork. I mean, it's getting that bad. More Australian news. Couple left to drink and bathe in recycled water for 8 years following connection bungle. Are you kidding me? So their infrastructure. Well, what do you think? If you have city water, what do you think that water is? Where does that water come from? It's pretty nasty if you look at where your city water comes from. Basically, it comes out of the toilet and goes back into the water line. You know, they hit it with a bunch of chemicals, bunch of fluoride. But one thing they can't get out of the water is pharmaceuticals. So all the stuff being washed down the drain ends up in the city drinking water. That's why you guys got to drink rainwater, distilled water, or well water or something. Don't drink the city water. Biosecurity insider warns fire ants spreading past southeast Queensland detection zones. So this is just giving them more reasons to drop the 1080 pellets and spray all the Monsanto. I mean, they're just killing everything down in Australia. It's ridiculous. New Zealand, same thing. Global weather chaos is also shriveling Asia's crop production. In a year when record heat is scorching Europe and the heaviest rain in decades has inundated parts of the U.S. Midwest, the Asian Pacific region is suffering from its own extreme weather. We just showed you the Russia weather, the India weather. I mean, it's just going on everywhere. It's a weather war. Tourists arrive disappointed to find Pink Lake isn't pink, but scientists say they can change that. So more man-modified water. That's what they're doing. They want to modify things. All right, so there we go. We got through all the headlines for the Wednesday. Didn't want to get into them like super deep. So let's go ahead and jump. Somebody said there was going to be a hurricane. I don't know who that said it was. We got a hurricane right now, Hurricane Eric. And then we have Tropical Storm Flossie. It looks like it's went down. It's not a hurricane now. It should have went up. So maybe it's this Invest 98L. We have a tropical depression over there by the Koreas. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll jump over to the tropical cyclone page and see what it's showing on the hurricanes. I do like to use the earth null too, so we'll get that thing going. Yeah, we have to wake these people up, man. We are completely running out of time to wake people up, man. It's getting, you know, once they roll this 5G kill grid out, it's not going to be good because people won't even be able to think for themselves. So let's check the tracks of Eric here. So it looks like it's definitely going to go to the south of Hawaii, and we'll take a look at some other maps on this, just checking the GFS models here. Then we got the tropical storm Flossie. Now this thing here is probably going to hit, definitely probably going to hit Hawaii. I mean, all the models are bringing it right into Hawaii, and not sure if it's going to be a cyclone, but I mean, they're already going to get some of the rain from Eric, and then they're going to get hit like a double whammy. They're going to get a side blow and then a direct hit. Looks like it's still a few days out, so you know, if there are clouds seeding out ahead of these, then we'll know. So here's the other one. Where's the other one? Down in this one. Is this the one? Yeah, so this one here, they're saying this is the Canadian models. Yeah, I still don't think that thing's going to turn into it. It's going to be a race with the Sahara dust. I really don't think that thing's going to form into a hurricane at all. I think there's too much particulates out there. All right, let's go check the forecast models real quick here. Yeah, they're making a change. I think that's what all the bunker fuel and aerosols being deployed up over the Arctic. I think they're getting ready to try to flip it to fall. So let's expand this map out here so we can get a big picture of this. Wow, my screen. Oh, my screen was all zoomed. No wonder it looks so weird. Alright, now I might be able to find stuff. And where is... I'll try the North America one. Alright, so let's take a look. Here's our Hurricane Eric. There's Flossie. And somebody said there might be a hurricane developing over here, which I really doubt. But let's go ahead and take the models up 6 hours at a time. And you can see Hurricane Eric is going to wind down right when it gets to the south of Hawaii. But it looks like they'll still get a little bit of rain. They're going to get high waves. So at least it's not going to be a direct hit. And here we go. Man, there might be a third storm coming out. But here is Eric, or Flossie. So you can drop it down to a 998. So yeah, that one there is going directly towards, and maybe it's this one over here that they're calling may turn into a hurricane. It's running the wrong way. It's running like south. So we'll see what that does. Gotta wait on this to load. 993, 980, 981. 972. It does have some pretty low pressures, so they don't have it hitting the coast. And what's weird is that's not how the weather patterns have been going. Remember, everything is going backwards. The Bermuda high pressure here, this storm shouldn't even be coming over this way. It should be just taking a U-turn. Anyway, let's go check the dust, see where the dust is. And we'll be able, we'll probably have to wait till it's closer, but let's just take a quick look. why we got this up. And well, we got to watch though on the hurricane. So I forgot to look how far out that is. Let me get this backed up here. So this would be Wednesday, August 7th. Yeah, I can't go that far out on the earth null. So let's see how far I can go out. Here's the first. If it'll load. Wow, it's running like crap. Stream's back going good. Alright, so here we are on the 8.4. So I can only go up to 8.4. So if that storm, yeah, see that storm is going to be right here. You got this wave, you got all this Sahara dust right here. That's going to slow it down. So this is probably going to be the low pressure system right here. And that's as far as I go. So we'll know here in a couple days. As of right now, there's a lot of dust wrapping in that thing. That's going to slow everything down. When you look at the wind patterns, which we'll have to look into to see if, where the shear is. So it's way up here. So that's not going to help. All right, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, so I wanted to see if that goes right around the high pressure. You got a low pressure going the wrong way over the Midwest. If that's not steering it, look at that. So the low pressure goes backwards. Now that is crazy. And then it does like a U-turn. No, it kind of just keeps swirling around over there. What the heck? Okay, now that's pretty strange. So yeah, that could turn into a hurricane, but I really doubt it. We'll see. Let's see what the let's go with the precipitation and see what kind of precipitation we're looking at. Let me just crank it up here. Save a little bit on time. So yeah, even if that was to turn into a hurricane, it's all the moisture is going to be way out in the Atlantic. But what we got to look at is once this storm gets going, are they going to be, if they're cloud seeding out ahead of this and they're staying at a certain distance out ahead of it, then I guarantee they're steering it. So that's what we're going to have to watch for. Yeah, so we'll be watching on this storm to see if they start seeding it and start pulling it this way, kind of like they're already doing it here in Florida. You got mega aerosols being deployed here over Florida, and we just had the mass bee kill going on. But yeah, you got mega spraying operations going on in Florida, then up the coast, all the way up into, well, it's kind of off the shore of South Carolina, but look, right there on the shore, you're getting the chem bombs right here. I mean, look at this mess out here. That is insane. So we got a mega spraying operation over parts of Georgia, all over Florida, in the Gulf of Mexico. And I don't know what this thing is, but it's definitely some aerosols in it. Yeah, that's pretty weird right there. Let's see. Oh yeah, it was definitely aerosols. So yeah, what we need to do is just start watching over here in the Bahamas. If they start getting bombarded, then we know they're going to be trying to pull this low pressure over here, and they'll be trying to create and steer a possible hurricane. We got aerosols being deployed here off the coast of Corpus Christi. Now all the aerosols they've been deploying for the last 2 days, here's the target zone. I mean, this is a kind of a narrow storm, but it's dropping tons of rain. Check. Let's go ahead and put this on just the next 24 hours. Let me get on where we can see the United States better. So here we go. Yeah, look at it. This is pretty good amounts of rain here. 4 to 5 inches of rain. And then we got a big heavy spot right there in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. So these storms are going to be more flooding, more flash flooding over the next couple days. Looks like through Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, your guys are going to be getting quite a bit of rain here over the next few days, next week. So it looks like they got a weird target zone right there in Georgia, like a certain area. Look at that. That is crazy. So yeah, look, it's in the black almost. I don't know what that's about. Unless that's weird. I've never seen them do that. Like that color, that's weird. So I don't know what that's about. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see this unless I add it. Let me just copy. I gotta paste it into here so you guys, I don't have to keep adding the scene and stuff. Alright, so they got this thing going into a category 3, just scraping by Hawaii. Let's take a look at this on the IR. Take them off just so we can see it. Yeah, there's definitely some dark side going on out there, man. It's the light versus the dark. It always has been, always will be. No, I haven't heard. I haven't got no notifications from anybody. I got to jump in for a few minutes on Ralph's stream this morning, and that was about it. I didn't get any notifications, like I never do, man. My apps don't never work. It's ridiculous. Try to get this going here. We'll get that. Wow, this thing is not loading. Yeah, they got invisible chemtrails now too. I haven't looked into it. I keep hearing about it. We'll have to dig into that. I think I seen Atlanta Freeland or somebody was talking about them. So yeah, things kind of going to the south. So yeah, heads up Florida. So you're definitely getting a little rain from this one. Probably some wind, some surge and all that stuff. Hey, thanks there, Ginger. But the second one is definitely coming towards you. Alright, was finished with the worldview map. I know I'm jumping around. I jump around a lot. So Missouri is getting smacked down still with the trails. They did the short sprays the first day. Actually, the headache sprays. And then they come in with the long liners, and then we get this big old storm right out ahead. It's just like clockwork every time. We got aerosols being deployed in Minnesota. So it looks like they want this moisture to head east. You're going to see they'll seed out the way they want these storms to go. They use two different seeding operations. The first one, whatever they have in the mix, it always gives me a migraine. And then the second one is just the regular aerosols that don't really affect me. But yeah, it's like a two-part, two-phase spraying operation. Then you have the cloud ionizers on the ground. You got the water generating stations. I mean, there's so much stuff involved. The cell phone towers. So you got a big spraying operation over Wyoming. Oh, remember the chemtrail plane? The actual scientific study plane right over Yellowstone yesterday. Look today, there's a big X. Hey, thanks there, Teresa. So huge X. All of Wyoming's being sprayed. Idaho's getting smacked down. So the whole spraying operation pretty much covers this whole area: Arizona, Utah, parts of Colorado, Nevada. How's California looking over here? Looks like you guys are just in a little bit of bad air quality. I'm not seeing no major spraying at all, which is not, I mean, it's good in one way and not good in another. Actually, it's good because you're not getting the fire accelerant sprayed, but you're also not getting any rain. Still got the fire going on in Oregon. All the aerosols are being deployed up in British Columbia and Alberta. Tons of aerosols up north. Fire still going. You want to see where the biggest spraying operation on the planet is? It's up here over the Aleutian Island chain, over Russia. This is just a huge spraying operation out here. We got ship tracks, bunker fuel being deployed. Let's check the let's click this, see if anything comes out on here. It'll take this a second to load. I think I see a few right there. Yeah, you're under the chemtrail blanket. Yeah, the bad air down there, man. Yeah, it's crazy. The mountains must hold that air in. You'd think the sea breeze would come in and blow that stuff away, but all right, are we going to get this to load or not? Hey, thanks there, Babu. All right, I'm just waiting on this thing to load, and we'll zoom around, look at a few other spots. Man, they're just screwing with our stream every single night. All right, wow, it's just not loading. I got it on. That is so weird. Oh, here it comes. Man, that's slow. I think I was over in Australia when I turned this thing on. I guess we'll go backwards, because I know I had it on over here. You know, they've been doing a lot of bunker fuel operations down here in Australia. You know, if they're down here, maybe right there, but it's not super bad like it has been. Hey, thanks there, Teresa. Much love out. And then we got, remember yesterday we had the weird aerosols down here. Look at this cloud formation. Do you think David Miles might have something to do with this? What is this, man? Look at that thing. It looks like a mountain. It looks like a mountain with snow on it, but that's the cloud. What the heck is going on down here? So a strange cloud formation right here. Getting hit with mega frequencies. We know the aerosols were there yesterday. Here's another man-made cloud. Another man-made cloud. I mean, just weird formations down here in Australia. Still getting aerosols. And we still have the fires. Tons of little spot fires right where all the aerosols. Look, we still have aerosols being deployed up off the north. So Australia continues to get sprayed with the Monsanto. The 1080 pellets are being dropped, or that might be in New Zealand. Look at all these fires up in Russia. They've dropped a cluster bomb up here a cluster bomb to start all these fires. I mean, this whole area is just nasty. Look at Mongolia's on fire. And you got aerosols being deployed. So you got big liners in the same places the fire zones are. We'll let that clear up a little bit. Yeah, now instead of Crocodile Dundee, you got these weirdos. All the, weirdos on TV now that don't know what gender they are. And, who's the Crocodile Dundee of this year, It's the guy that makes videos, lipstick for men. Alright, so I'm back. Man, I jump around a lot. Hold on, I want to look at the ship tracks. I'm going to just have to wait for it to load. Alright, we'll see it. Oh, there it goes. Finally starting to load. Oh, we have ship tracks. Few right there. Alright, looks like we're pretty loaded. Sometimes it's really hard to look at this stuff, man. Unless they're just totally blatant, they're hard to find. I mean, I might see a few out here, but there's no huge operation that's standing out, so we'll go ahead and get off that for a little bit. We'll see if they're spraying out ahead of any of these storms. And we're not seeing any kind of aerosols being deployed out ahead of this storm. Not until you get way up here, so they're not affecting that one right now. Possible aerosols in the back side of this storm. Hard to say. So really the major spraying operations right now is through the Midwest, but the spraying operations are going to go to the east. You got a big spraying operation up here in Minnesota. Let's try to click the layer. I could remember if we looked at this. So yeah, it's starting to go over into Wisconsin. You're getting the chemtrail drift. So everybody out ahead of this is going to get sprayed. In fact, they're probably spraying as we speak right now. And then as this system goes up, they'll be spraying out ahead of it. And they're really spraying this system. They will never stop spraying, man. It's part of their agenda. It's a eugenics program. It's depopulation. It's to ruin the crops, ruin the plants. This is the new world order, man. We're going against the evil. It's the good guys versus the bad guys. The light against the dark. Look at that spray job. And the storm system we've been tracking up here where they just been doing mega spraying. They're fabricating some kind of monster system up here. Remember we went back yesterday and showed that they were using this little machine up here, this little weather machine. Here, I'm going to go back 2 days. So we're going to go back 2 days. This little system right here was just a little system, but they started pulling. There's a scatter radar or something up here. And it's like it's pulling off there, and then you go up a day, and then all the clouds seeding the ship tracks, and this thing just grows. And now it's just really pulling stuff. It's pulling everything into it. It's just getting huge. And like I said, when you zoom in on this thing, man, just tons of aerosols. This is all a chemtrail cloud out here. I mean, they're even seeding the very back of it. And sometimes you got to zoom in on this stuff. But man, that's one huge fabricated system. I mean, there's even seeding going on right in the middle. Like, what is this real bright white thing? And look, this is the way they want it to go. They're gonna head it for Ireland. So heads up, Ireland. You got some incoming nasty storm systems. We're trying to get this to load up a little cleaner here. Yeah, look at these aerosols being deployed right off the coast of Ireland. So this whole monstrous system that we've watched them fabricate over the last 3-4 days is headed for Ireland, and then right on over into the UK. We can see that Portugal is getting sprayed. Spain, the Bay of Biscay is just completely getting bombarded. So yeah, here we go. Now you can see just how bad Portugal is getting hit. And what happened over the winter is down here in Portugal, their satellite radars went down. When their radars went down, they went down for a good week, maybe 2 weeks. Not one chemtrail in the sky. They couldn't cloud seed anything because they had no radar. So just keep that in the back of your mind for when things go down. Look at these sprayers. So sunny Portugal is no longer sunny Portugal. It's a cloud seeding, test going on all above your sky. I mean, this is a major cloud seeding operation. Look at these X's up here. Heavy duty spraying. This is what we call bombarded. So this place is getting completely bombarded, and all this stuff's going to head up into France. So heads up, France. You got a bunch of toxic air coming your way. And they do cloud seed over Africa and all the Congo and all this place. I just don't cover it a whole lot. Down here in Argentina, they get hammered all the time. They're getting hit right now in Argentina, Chile. All right, let's go take a look. I want to go bring up the other maps. Let me get the this thing loaded so we can check out the aerosols on the Go 17. And we are getting hit with some solar wind. So we're going to check the RAM slider. We're going to see if we're getting any kind of plasma events going on at the poles, the southern hemisphere, the northern hemisphere. Man, that stream output is just looking horrible, guys. Sorry about that. I know we got that rain coming in. We're on the satellite internet, so that could be why the stream is sucking so bad. If I could get more bandwidth, then I could upload these to the backup channel in HD. But like the last time I uploaded a full hour-long video, it used up all the, like, it cost me like $29 to upload one HD video. Like, who can afford that? Yeah, you know what? We haven't had any mosquitoes here in Missouri. None. No ticks, no mosquitoes. I've seen a couple bumblebees, but not regular bees. A lot of wasps. There's like a fly outbreak, a gnat outbreak. All right, cool. Yeah, just on my screen it's showing it's been in the red forever. Spiders, we got the spiders. Whoa, look at that real weird dark brown right in there. I don't know if you guys, let me slow that down. Man, they're doing some funky stuff over the Arctic up here. So I'm just kind of looking at a few areas while I got this up. I'm not seeing any kind of plasma. It's probably going to be more in the southern hemisphere. But look, there's, I don't know if that's lights from a city or a fire. But I've never noticed that. Probably lights from a city. Let's check the southern hemisphere. Hey, thanks out there too, Fry. I can already see a plasma lightning right there. Look at the southern hemisphere, man. That looks messed up. Like it doesn't look right. Oh, we got, yeah, I'm really starting to wonder if David Miles is doing something down here, because check that out. Look at that little plasma ball jumping around. Little plasma lightning bolt. I'm going to try to add a few more frames. It may freak it out, but let's just see if it'll work. You know, we get a lot of butterflies. We got tons of butterflies. Haven't really seen the monarchs yet. Oh man, we got all kinds of plasmic magnetic disturbances going. Look, when I add in the extra frames, it looks like we're getting hit with some kind of weapon over here. Look at that. And it keeps hitting that same spot. Wow, that is running. Let me check the space weather place. This isn't, I don't really like using the space weather, but there's another site I got that's got everything all in one spot. So yeah, the Earth's inside a stream of solar wind flowing from the hole in the sun's atmosphere. Well, the hole's already went by, so we're just now getting hit. Yeah, the wind speed's up to 568. See the graph here. So if you're feeling a little bit dizzy, a little bit off, or your bones are hurting, that's from the solar wind. Yeah, it's not really the graph I wanted. I wanted this one, I guess. Yeah, it's still not the one I want anyway. So we're going to get, man, I got to get the telescope going. We got some good meteor showers. I got some pretty good footage last year of the meteors. So we're at a KP3, quiet. Oh yeah, so that's all quiet, so we're not getting hitting, but we got a lot of plasma being discharged down here in the southern hemisphere. You can actually see a huge chemtrail just south of New Zealand. So there's like a monster chemtrail going on out there. So tons of plasma being released here. I'm glad we looked at that. Got that documented. We'll see what this is doing. So right where the aerosols were deployed, look at that. They're using the generating station right there in Omaha to create a bunch more of this moisture. I know exactly which power plant is putting that off. Yeah, we'll probably get these solar stuff later this week. Yeah, when you get all this stuff, you know, a lot of people say there isn't satellites, but if you get a good telescope, you can actually film them, and there is no balloons hooked to them. I've actually filmed we know NASA lies about everything. We know they CGI everything. We got to use these maps. These are the only maps we got. But I'm telling you, there's stuff up there. You can film it. Hey, thanks out there, Susan. Nice donation there. That will definitely help us. All right, let's put this on the chemtrail layer. I mean, we're going to call it what it is, man. They can call it contrails all they want. These are chemtrails. I'm not going to go by what anybody else says. We're going to go by, we're going to call it like we see it. I mean, that's what we got to do. Usually if the government tells me something, I'm going to try to do the exact opposite. Because everything they say, it's the opposite of what they mean. You got a big aerosol deployment over Texas, New Mexico, Kansas. Of course, you got the big one over Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, and then all out ahead of this storm system and a mega aerosols being deployed through Georgia. So California's still pretty clear. Oregon, you're clear. Washington, you're pretty clear. North Dakota, you're free for a day, but it's all coming. So it's wow, look at these, look at this operation out here in the Atlantic. Let me pause that. That's pretty look at that X. That's a monster X, man. That's like hundreds of miles long. That's like probably one of the biggest X's I've ever seen. Yeah, I always get really dizzy when we get hit with the solar wind. I've been dizzy all day. My wife wanted me to go up a ladder earlier, and I was like, man, I don't know if I can do it. Like, I'm really dizzy. Man, I can't get there. Yeah, I want to check out this gigantic X in the sky out here. So we're going to let that load, see if we can pick it up. Look down here. They're spraying down here, so maybe they are trying to create a hurricane. So there's that X, man. Let me zoom in if I can. Wow, that's weird when you zoom in. It messes the screen all up. See, why can't they just make these, like, why do I have to have this stupid sidebar? So that is a huge X, straight out from North Carolina. Monster X in the sky, hundreds of miles long. And you can definitely see all the aerosols being deployed out there. Let's go down here and check Florida. Yeah, I've been dizzy today for sure. Yeah, I know I probably opened up a can of worms when I'm talking about satellites, but hey, man, these are what we have to use. This is what we got to work with. So these are the maps that we have. So yeah, look at that spraying operation in Florida. Let's zoom in on that. We got to document that for the people down in Florida. Mass spraying operation down here in Florida. So let's go real slow. So they were spraying at night. Then the spraying operations continued in the morning. Look at that. Look how many straight lines and grid patterns. And you can see the different levels of the spray. There's low level spray that's going from north or from south to east. Man, that is insane spraying over Florida. Look down here. You know, when I see them spraying down here and then they're calling for a hurricane, that's when I know they're going to create the hurricane and they're going to steer it. So we'll definitely be watching down in this area and also in Florida. Look, you can tell these guys were doing U-turns. So the sprayer plane come out, did a U-turn and went back. Here's the other one. So this is all weather modification, 100%. We need to look into the Florida License Bureau and see if they are like Texas, where you can get your own chemtrail license. See if they got the, you know, all that weather modification stuff up there. Let's go ahead and check up north. So here we go. Check this out. Yeah, super thick liners. Look, they're spraying all over the top of this low pressure system. Major spraying right there, right over Yellowstone. So there you go, major spraying operation. At the same time, you had the NASA flying lab up there. So yeah, mega spraying out here off the coast and on the coast. Look at the storms fire up from all the cloud seeding. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call this a show. I want to thank everybody out there that helps us. Thanks to the mods out there. I know your guys' job is hard. But, yeah, we're all in this together. We just got to keep on fighting, man. We got to get enough people up. We got to get people. Everybody needs to be an activist. Everybody needs to get a hold of everybody that they know and tell them to look up, man. We can't keep not doing anything. First, we got to have the numbers, but we need people informed. So anyway, guys, much love out there. Thanks everybody out there to super chat, everybody that sends us stuff and all that stuff. Much love. We're going to hit the scene, the exit screen, play a song called Rise, because we're going to have to rise. We're all in this together, whether you like it or not. And then we're going to play the fighting song, and then we'll play the victory song. I'll come join you in chat. I'll jump over there on D Live and give away the treasure chest. Anyway, guys, armor up and stock up on food. You're going to need it. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Let's hit the rise.